Hi guys, today is a very exciting day for me. I've been wanting to start a Read It or Unhaul It challenge for a while, and I thought the best way to do it would be to start in October with a Read It or Unhaul It horror challenge. I spent the first half of this month finishing off the Twilight series, which was great in its own way, but I really want to get into some spooky shit. And I already have a big TBR jar type thing with my fish tank. So I wanted something else, something more fun for me personally and like visually more fun. So I bought a raffle drum. So I have assigned each genre of book to a different color that's in here. There's 10 colors, 10 main genres of book that I own. And then I printed out a list on each piece of colored paper of every single book that I own. And I threw them in the So I'm a fucking idiot. I'm stupid. I was obviously supposed to print out a list of every single book that I own that I haven't read. I was supposed to put all of the books that I have never read that I own in this raffle drum. And instead, what I have in here is every single book that I own, read or unread. What do I do about that? Okay, well, I'm not gonna go through all of those again because there are 1,000 slips in here. So I guess I'll just throw out slips as I go when I pull ones that I've already read. I'll toss them as I go. Wow. I hope you'll forgive me for being an actual moron, but I guess let's just get this going and pull the first book because I've been thinking about this for way too long and I cannot wait any longer. This is kind of like picking different colors for different classes in school where like biology was green and then math was red, like that kind of shit. I decided that fantasy is purple, miscellaneous nonfiction is red, dark blue is mystery thriller, hot pink is classics, orange is memoir, etc. Dark green is science fiction, light blue is horror, light green is miscellaneous fiction, yellow is adventure, wildlife, nature, conservation, anything that falls under that umbrella, and light pink is romance. And as you can see, the majority of things in here are purple, there's a bunch of green, there's very little pink, there's very little orange or dark blue, but like I said, horror is light blue. So I'm gonna turn this and I'm gonna shuffle them up a little bit, and then I'm gonna choose only light blue slips for this video. If I had to pick a few books I would love to start reading now, I think Slewfoot would be high on my list. Slewfoot is number one. I want to make sure that I read Slewfoot in October. I'd also love to get Someone You Could Build a Nest In, Knock Knock Open Wide, Bloom, The Center, Grey Dog. Those are ones that have been top of mind recently, but obviously that doesn't matter here, so I don't know I'm talking about that. Okay, I'm so nervous. Wait. Oh, to open it, I need a key. So I'm going, oh God. I'm gonna try and balance this on my knees so you can see as we're going. So I'm gonna pop the key in. There you go. Come on. Would not be a Halloween video without my Halloween themed cat. Hey, oh, okay. Stop. Okay. I'll figure out a better way to do this, a more logistically sound way to do this after this round. I'm gonna pop the key in, I'm gonna open the door, and then the closest light blue slip to my hand is the one I'm gonna pick. Oh, I'm so nervous. What's the closest? Oh, it's that one. It's that one for sure. This is the closest. Why am I so nervous? Do you want to look first? That looks long. That looks like a long one. Is that upside down? The hell is that? Through the Midnight Door. Okay, hold on. So this is Through the Midnight Door by Katrina Monroe. This, I believe, came out earlier this year, and I haven't seen anyone talk about it yet. This almost got put on a, oh, should I say that? Yeah, that's fine. In November, I'm doing a reading vlog where I read books that I own that have less than 1,000 ratings on Goodreads. And this almost made the cut. It has just barely over 1,000 people who have read it and logged it on Goodreads, but I guess we're reading it now. That was exciting. The Finch sisters once spent long, hot summers exploring the dozens of abandoned properties littering their dying town, until they found an impossible home with an endless hall of doors and 3 keys left waiting for them. Curious, fearless, they stepped inside their chosen rooms and experienced horrors they never dared speak of again. Now, years later, youngest sister Claire has been discovered dead in that old, desiccated house. As they navigate the tensions of their brittle relationship, they draw unsettling lines between Claire's death, their own haunted memories, and a long-ago loss no one in their family has ever been able to face. With the house once again pulling them closer, Meg and Esther must find the connection between their sister's death and the shadow that has chased them across the years, before the darkness protagonist claims them too. I wanted to look up on Goodreads how this is doing, if any friends of mine have read this, what people are thinking about it, but Goodreads is apparently down right now, so I can't. So that, honestly, maybe that's a better way to do this. I'm going in knowing very little except for the synopsis. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I'm like 172 pages into Through the Midnight Door, and I'm bored. It started out very reminiscent of The Haunting of Hill House. I haven't read the book, but I've watched the Netflix version. They even have a quote from The Haunting of Hill House in the beginning of the book. And let's see, the book opens with Meg and Esther, who are dealing with the event and the aftermath of their sister taking her own life in the house that them all up as kids. In their adolescence, they followed this boy into this decrepit, vacant house, and they find this impossible hallway corridor with like a million doors in it, and the doors look like they're moving on their own and they're breathing. And the girls are real fucking stupid, and they decide to each go through a different door alone. No survival skills found within this family. In these rooms, they find horrors that I won't spoil for you, but they each completely derail the girls' lives. I will say though, the horrors were hyped up so much, and once we found out what they actually were, I was a little underwhelmed. I was expecting way worse. I've had thousands of nightmares worse than what they saw in those rooms. So their lives get derailed. Meg, who's the oldest, winds up dropping out of college and basically like dead-ending her whole life. Esther, bless you. Esther, the middle sister, gets near paralyzing OCD that almost ruins her life and like breaks up her family. And Claire obviously winds up in a place where she chooses to take her own life. Esther, the middle one, also, and obviously I'm not saying this because of the OCD, that's not what I'm talking about. She is such a deeply unlikable person. She's so deeply unlikable that I don't actually care what happens to her. I just so don't give a shit. She's not unlikable in like a fun way, she just sucks. Also, the author got her math mixed up somewhere, which like I'm surprised that the editors didn't catch it. It'll say something about like one of the girls being 13 years old in 1999, and then we go to another excerpt from 10 years later, but somehow that girl is now only 17. So she's only aged 4 years within the span of 10 years. And that's literally all that I have for you as of this point right now. It's not even a horror book. This is a mystery thriller, or like just mystery. It's not very thrilling. It's not horror, it's not thrilling. It's kind of just a mystery book so far. I am bored. Okay, bye. Hello gorgeous people, I am here coming to you live off about 3.5 hours of sleep, and I'm here to tell you that I finished the rest of my book. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. I did not like it, but I am, like I said, on 3.5 hours of sleep, and I am too tired to form actual thoughts about it. So I'm just here to figure out what my next book is, and then I will update you on the book probably tomorrow, because I just can't do it right now. I did not sleep well or enough last night, and I woke up kind of with a sore throat. So I'm gonna figure out what book I'm reading. I'm gonna exercise to make myself feel better, which is a brand new thing for me. I have not exercised since high school, up until like a month ago, but we're on a new path now. We're on a better, healthier journey. So I'm exercising again for the first time in 65 years. There you go. So I'm gonna choose another book. I'm gonna exercise a little bit if I can force myself to. I'm going to go to a specialty home and garden store and pick up gravel, and then I'm gonna come back and lay face down on the couch and read a book probably. And then tomorrow I'll tell you about the delightful journey I had with Through the Midnight Door. So if you'll accompany me, how do I do this? Did I pull the camera down? Yeah, this is how we're gonna do this, so I don't have to hold it on my f***ing lap again. Hey, what's this? Do you like this? Meow. Say hi to the people. So if you'll remember, I'm gonna spin this and I'm gonna choose whichever light blue slip is closest to the little key door. Hey, do you wanna help me? I'm trying not to cheat. I'm trying so hard. I keep like seeing slips of titles on the slips. Oh, that one? Is that what you think? You know what? I'm gonna spin it 7 more times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So we're opening it. This one's the closest. Why am I scared again? You know what? I know I am scared again. Because I didn't, nope, that's fine. Because I didn't like Through the Midnight Door. So now I'm scared of what the wheel is gonna give me. Please give me something better. Oh, can you see that? Oh, it's upside down. What does that say? Ghost Station. Oh, Ghost Station. You know what? Okay, this could be good. This could be good, actually. This could be You Are So Crooked. Psychologist Dr. Bray has dedicated her life to the study and prevention of the Eckert-Reiser syndrome, the most famous case of which resulted in the brutal murders of 29 people. Someone begins to establish residency on an abandoned planet with a crew that's hiding something. They go to other planets, and I think it has to do with the thing that's in a lot of space movies where crews will go into space and then slowly they all start to go crazy and they start killing each other. I think that's what this is going to be about. I cannot stand to be on camera for one more second right now looking at my own face or hearing my own voice. So I'm gonna go buy gravel and work out. So I'll see you later. Hope that's a fucking sign. All right, I'll see you later. Hopefully with more sleep injected into my brain. Love you, bye. Okay, I'm back and I'm happy to report I got a perfectly adequate amount of sleep last night, so hopefully I'm looking healthier than I did yesterday. I have already started on Ghost Station, but let me give you the rundown first on the last part of Through the Midnight Door. First of all, their ages continued to bop around. We wind up 25 years after the girls first went into that evil house, but somehow one of the sisters has aged the proper amount of time and one of the sisters has only aged 20 years. And it's still so frustrating to me. I should be a book editor, is what I'm figuring out. It also continues on like a mystery thriller path. I'm convinced that this was mismarketed because this is not a horror book. There were a few horror elements, few and far between, a few like fantastical things here and there, but it was way more of like a slightly paranormal mystery than a horror book by any means. The one sister, Esther, she still sucked. She sucked almost the entire way through. But both of them, Esther and Meg, they wound up making the most dumb-ass decisions at the end of the book. The kind of decisions that if you were watching a scary movie, you would be screaming at your television screen. I was hoping for a big twist at the end, but it wound up going exactly the way that I thought it would go. And I guessed it. Like I guessed the ending like 30% into the book. So I was bored. I was a little bored. And so I flew through the ending because I just wanted it to be over with. So unfortunately, I gave it 2 stars and I'm moving right on to the next book. I refuse to think about this one anymore. I'm going to insert a little clip that I took right before I started Ghost Station and I'll see you right back here in 1 second. So I've now chosen 2 books from this Raffle Drum that I had no interest in reading anytime soon, which I guess is kind of the point of the read it or unhaul it thing. This is the lowest rated S.A. Barnes book. It has a 3.55 on Goodreads. I would have been a lot more excited to see Dead Silence pop up from the drum, but I'm gonna keep my hopes up because I absolutely love sci-fi and I especially love anything that's set in outer space. I just hope that this isn't super dense because honestly I'm in a bad mood right now and I just need some, oh, sorry, earthquake. Anyway, I'm in a bad mood right now and I just need some light and fluffy shit. And I don't read the kind of books that people usually call palate cleansers, which is usually romance and then like domestic mystery books or domestic thrillers, whatever. I don't read those. So surface level sci-fi horror really is like my version of a cozy book. So windy. Although now I'm also realizing that 2 out of 2 of the books that I've pulled aren't even really horror. Through the Midnight Door was like mystery thriller with teensy elements of horror here and there. And this one is obviously going to lean sci-fi in a like a huge way. The next book I pull from that drum better be some fucking 10 toes down Halloween type shit, I swear to God. Anyway, I'm procrastinating. I'm gonna go start it. Bye. So now I'm a little bit over 100 pages into Ghost Station, like 121. And so far it's all sci-fi, and no horror. We're following Ophelia, who is some kind of psychiatric doctor with a dark and mysterious past that she keeps alluding to in that annoying way that books sometimes do, where every single chapter ends off with them almost telling us something and then leaving us with, oh, but I can't let myself remember such painful memories, or like, I'll never let myself go to that dark place again, and then not actually telling us anything until it's conducive to the plot. So she is a doctor who has spent her entire life researching this phenomenon that has started happening to crews who go into space and stay in cryosleep for too long, where they go nuts and start killing their crewmates. So Ophelia has been sent to space with this crew who has been sent to this planet that their employer just bought to like collect samples and take notes on what the vibe is there, basically. So far, it's pretty typical space book stuff, but also it's a little bit boring. The stuff that's going on that's supposed to make it feel different from any other sci-fi outer space book, it's not done in that interesting of a manner. And so far, Barnes's writing is not really striking me as like very special or very interesting. And I'm sorry if that sounds like a mean thing to say. I'm not saying that Barnes's writing is bad. I'm just saying I'm not particularly moved by it. There are also so many tidbits inserted to remind us that we're in the future. They talk about Miami refugees after Florida was flooded, old-timey football players, synthetic tequila, artificial pregnancy licenses. And like, we get it. We're in a sci-fi book. We're in the future. Some of the examples made sense. There's a lot of talk of the interface that's in a bunch of people's eyeballs. It's like the replacement in the future for cell phones. That makes sense. Ophelia is using that every single day. It's very present and it impacts the book. But some of the shit is just whacking us over the head for no reason, just to remind us that we're in the future in case we forgot because we're stupid. At one point she goes, oh, this reminds me of that time at dinner when my sister and I fought over the implanted wishbone in the soy turkey. That's not impactful. That has nothing to do with the plot. It doesn't impact the story in any way. It does not highlight the fact that we're in the future in a meaningful way. I can also already tell that this is gonna wind up very all systems red, very Prometheus, very Alien Earth, in that it's about sci-fi and outer space, right? But mostly it's about politics and corporation and government overreach and corruption. And I don't know, like I'm kind of over that. It's always the same thing. It's always like these level 10 capitalism corporations are actually secretly the bad guys and they're keeping deadly secrets from their employees. It's always the same shit. It's been done to death, and I just want to read about outer space adventures and like biological danger. That's all that I have to say about this first chunk of the book, but I do have something else to add. Someone in the book is described as having hair that she dyed this bright blue color, and it made me realize that it's been over a year since I've done anything fun to my hair. And next week is Halloween, so I'm gonna put up a poll today on Instagram to let anyone who follows me over there decide what color I dye my hair for Halloween. I think it's gonna be between a pink and like this minty seafoam green that I've done before. If you're only hearing about this now, it's obvious, I mean, it's too late for you to vote, obviously, but shameless plug, if you come follow me on Instagram, I'll put it right here. It's the same thing. McKenna loves content. If you come follow me on Instagram, you'll have the opportunity in the future to choose a hair color for me again. I can almost guarantee it. Okay, I'm gonna go make some tea and try and soothe my throat a little bit. Hi, I'm sick, which is, I know, such a huge shock for you to hear, but that does mean that I finished this whole book today. I have a cold. It's nothing bad. Nothing like what I have had in the past. I've been in bed all day today feeling gross as shit. But I did make sure to wash my hair before I came and saw you. Because trust me, you do not want to see what sick, bed-rotting me looks like. Sick me is capable of absolutely disgusting depths of being. So I washed my hair for you. I'm clean now. I was absolutely right about this being at the core of it, about corporations and overreach and corruption and whatever else I said earlier. And it was a little underwhelming. I gave it a 2.5. There's not a whole lot I can say say about the rest of this book without spoiling something, because there was so much in here that was meant to be a shocking revelation, even though I was neither shocked nor revelated. Neither shocked nor revelated. None of the things that were supposed to be plot twists or surprises wound up twisting me or surprising me. I guessed everything from the start, which doesn't make it a bad book. It just didn't make it as interesting as I wanted it to be. Also, very nearly everyone in this is an unlikable character. A pretty deeply unlikable character, which generally, like, I'm not opposed to that, but ideally there would be at least one character where I go, huh, I hope they live. And I got none of that here. What else can I tell you? Oh, there was a really cool oh, sorry, did I shock you? There was a cool scene where they had to do a foreign object removal from one of the crew, and it was very much giving. Oh, well, no, that's a spoiler, isn't it? That's kind of that, yeah, that's that. I think that counts as a spoiler. Okay, it was reminiscent of a few different very famous sci-fi movies. It was like a little nod to them, which was cool. But the horror was not horroring. Not whoring. Horroring. The horror was not doing horror stuff. I'm moving this to my sci-fi shelf, that's what I'm trying to say. This was not horror. This was sci-fi with like aspects of horror. There was also mention of, so they're on this foreign planet, right? They're doing research, they're taking samples, and the crew is talking about other planets that they've already visited and places they've already explored. And they talk about one planet where the previous inhabitants were all of these weird animals, quote unquote. And it made me wish I was reading that book. Hi. Give me the sci-fi book about adventuring to other planets and interacting with strange creatures and unfamiliar animals. Tell me about like space whales, you know, that is what space. Okay, speaking of, if you've ever watched Treasure Planet, and if you haven't, I beg of you, please watch Treasure Planet soon. It's one of the most underrated animated movies of all time, if not the. It might be the most underrated animated movie ever. But in Treasure Planet, they are adventuring through the cosmos and they come upon this pod of space whales and they just kind of like coexist there. They just float through them and it's the most amazing scene. And that is what I want to be reading about. If you know of any sci-fi books that are mainly about, I don't know, going to other planets and meeting the strange animals that live on other planets, please let me know, please, I'm begging you, please let me know what that book is. And so now I have read 2 books in a row with unlikable main female characters, and not unlikable in like a fun up way, just straight up unlikable, and 2 books in a row that I've given under a 3, which makes me feel like I should have titled this Read It and Unhaul It, because I imagine that I'm going to be saying, you know, bye-bye to both of these books when next time I do like a big unhaul. This is also 2 out of 2 books for a horror vlog that aren't really horror. Through the Midnight Door was more mystery thriller with like some little baby horror aspects that I'd barely count it. And I was right. Ghost Station is like 95% sci-fi and then like 5% horror. Like little baby things thrown in. You wanna come up here? Come on. Okay, good girl. Can I have a kiss? Thank you. What was I saying? 95% sci-fi, 5% horror. I barely count it. So I think that I've just read basically 2 books that aren't horror for my horror reading vlog. So I swear to God, if this next pull is not a straight up Halloween ass, spooky, scary ass, witches and demon ass book, I'm gonna cry. To remind you and myself and the wheel, not the wheel, what are you? Raffle Drum. To remind all of us what it is I want. I want to read Slewfoot. I want to read Knock Knock Open Wide. I want to read Grey Dog. I want to read Someone You Can Build a Nest In. I want to read Bloom. I want to read The Center. I want to read, I'll read, oh no, I don't want to read Overgrowth actually, because that's also more sci-fi. I want something straight up f***ing horror. I'm gonna turn this 13 times for good luck. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Where did I put the keys? Okay, oh God, I need to get like a tiny table next to me to put this on because right now I'm just straddling it and it's not the most convenient way to do this. There's nothing near, oh, there is one thing that is near the top. That one. Ah, okay, so we've gotten our first pull. Oh, sorry, I should have shown you first. Whatever. I've gotten, how do I, oh my God, I need to balance this. There we go. We've gotten our first pull. That is a book that I have already read because I'm a fucking idiot and I put all of my books in here. So goodbye. We're gonna spin some more. Mix it up real good like. Oh, hold on, my dad's calling me. Okay, we're back. That was a long phone call. What do you know? Focus, focus, focus. Oh, there we go. Another book that I've already read, The Book Eaters. We're gonna run into a lot of these throughout this process. So once again, we close this up, we spin the fucking wheel. Once again. Let's see, should I go like side to side a little bit to make some more? Like this? Okay. Is that doing anything? I don't know. Okay, let's spin more. Where do I keep putting these keys? The closest blue to the top is you. Rest Stop by Nat Cassidy, which I read about a month and a half ago and I loved. So we start again. You wanna spin it? What do you think? Okay, so we have 3 in a row that I've already read, which is good. We're getting them out of here. But let's get one that I haven't read, shall we? Okay, goodbye keys. The closest to the top. Sorry, I should have shown you first. That says motherfucking Slewfoot. I should stop cussing? What am I talking about? No, I shouldn't stop cussing. Oh. I'm seeing divine reasoning happening here. I'm understanding now. I had to get through a 2-star book and a 2.5-star book so that I could be rewarded with fucking Slewfoot. This is a reward. This is a reward for me for getting through. Ooh, okay, hold on. I'll be right back. Stay there. Of the books I was naming before, Grey Dog, Someone to Build a Nest In, Bloom, The Center, Knock Knock Open Wide, Slewfoot was #1 on that list, just so you know. Slewfoot was absolutely the very tip fucking top of the horror list and pretty much anything in this room. So I could not be any more stoked than I am right now. I don't even know that I actually know what this is even about, but it's got this beautiful little witchy girl on the cover with her little goatee hooves. I asked the gods of Halloween for a book that is spooky scary about witches or demons. I'm pretty sure this is about witches and demons, actually. I'm stoked. I am so happy because I believe I'm going to be exiting the 2-star streak. Everyone loves this book. This is the #1 most recommended book that I've seen in all of the booktubers what to read during the fall videos. I'm not going to talk anymore because my sore throat is getting worse from it. I'm just gonna go start reading this beautiful little book. Goodbye. Now that I'm done with Slewfoot, I have to go to the beauty supply place and I have to buy hair dye that is the color that you guys voted for. So let's go see. Oh, you're so crooked. Can you see me well enough at least? Okay, I just got to Sally Beauty to pick up the hair stuff and now we're gonna check on the poll to see who won. What color am I dyeing my hair? Is it gonna be pink or minty green? I kind of feel like it's gonna be pink. I think that there are some people who are averse to green hair because they are scared. And look at that, 68% to 32%. Can you see? 68%. Looks like we're going pink today, people. Let's f***ing go. So I'm home, I have 4.5 boxes of pink hair dye because that's what you guys chose. It's gonna be echoey in here because it's a bathroom. I'm so sorry. Let's get to it. That looks like brains. Okay, we have our hair dye. We've got gloves. We're ready to go. So last time I updated you, I think was like 4 days ago at the end of Go Station. It was when I first got sick. I think I told you that I thought I was past the worst of it. I was so wrong. I have been in bed for the past 4 days, not moving. So I was supposed to update you like halfway through the book, but I was struggling way too hard and I could not bring myself to be on camera or to speak or to move from bed. I have had this book on my shelf for over a year and I kept avoiding it because I'm a self-sabotager. I'm scared of things that I think I'll love too much. But guess what? I was right. This book is f***ing incredible. I'm not holding the book up for obvious reasons. The book was incredible. I was hoping that it would be like The Witch, the A24 horror movie The Witch with Anya Taylor-Joy, because that is one of my favorite movies. And guess what? I was right. Again. Also, I would be remiss if I didn't tell you that this book was so kindly sent to me by my friend Manuk. Manuk, I don't know if you sought out to change my life by sending me a book, but guess what? You did it. Perhaps Manuk is a witch. So Slewfoot is about a woman named Abatha. Slewfoot is about an English woman named Abatha who is sold by her father as a bride to a man in the New World, aka the US after the Puritans came and colonized everything. And let me tell you, I would have been, hold on, here we go. There we go. I would have been a fucking terror in these times. I would have been burned as a witch on day one. These Puritan people were the fucking worst. The entire first chapter or two was just Abatha being told what to do by these ass men. Her dad literally sells her to the new government to be given as a bride to whoever the needs one. Like, we're not vetting these men, it's just whoever needs a woman. And she lands in this new world where women are meant to be seen and not heard, to be subservient and respectful to any and all men around her at all times. Everyone in their colony has severe religious psychosis, and she and her new husband, who it turns out is like sweet and lovely and downright progressive for this time period, but the two of them are being pushed around and manipulated by Abatha's brother-in-law, her husband's brother, who takes advantage of the fact that his brother, Abatha's husband, is on the spectrum. And no, obviously it doesn't explicitly say in the book that he's on the spectrum, because this was in the year 1666, but he is so obviously autism coded. And her husband, Edward, is clearly enamored with her. But their weird ass society says that they can't show any kind of public affection, even holding hands. They can't hold hands in public, and they can't fuck in private, even though they're married, unless they are fucking in order to make a baby. So they have sex. They are intimate one time that we see. And he immediately backtracks and he's like, oh, I shouldn't have let the lust of the body get the better of me. I'm so sorry. I'm a bad person. I'm a bad husband. I'm a bad Christian. Okay, we're like a third of the way done. So the book overall is a battle between Puritanism and paganism. And let me tell you, paganism sounds pretty fucking good. You get to grow food and talk to animals and roll around in the grass naked and barefoot. Also, every time Abatha feels this witchy pagan power running through her, it's described pretty sexually. It's always entering her many orifices. She's always moaning. She and Samson are always like touching each other and becoming one. She basically anytime she feels the magic. And all that sounds way better than being called a whore if one strand of hair falls out of your bonnet that you're required to wear at all times, even at night in your own home while you're sleeping. Oh, I look naked. I need to keep my shirt in the shot. It's way better than putting people in stocks and throwing manure at them because they were late to church, and you are throwing manure at a person and you feel righteous and godly about it. I mean, it's no wonder so many women got accused of witchcraft if picking flowers means you're doing witchcraft. And it's no wonder so many women were probably trying out witchcraft. If I lived back then with all these asses over here, I also would want to curse everyone in my village. Okay, this is where we're at right now. It's been like 3 hours since I turned the camera on. This takes a long time, by the way. So anyway, this is on the back of the book. It's not a spoiler. The book starts with Abatha's husband dying. She's a widow. And that sets off this domino effect that leads to the demon waking up. She names him Samson after her goat that he kills and eats. Except Samson has been asleep for a long time. And he's waking up, but he's having some neurological issues. He's having some amnesia stuff going on. He doesn't remember who he is. He doesn't remember where he is, what his purpose is. But luckily he has these like little half baby, half animals around to help him figure that stuff out. And they're demons too. Obviously I can't show you the illustrations in the book right now, but I will insert a few photos. These guys. He has these guys, little f***ing half baby, half creature demon things that help him figure out his purpose and his path. And all I could think about while they were being described in the book was either Pain and Panic from Hercules or the guys from the Woodland Critter Christmas episode of South Park. And they call him Father because they think that he's literally the daddy of the forest. And now I'm gonna finish my bangs. Okay, we're done. Now I'm gonna sit on the bathroom floor for a few hours and just chill until it's time to wash this out. It's everywhere. 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 Come on. So the demon and Agatha link up, right? The book is essentially each of them trying to help the other one figure out who the f they really are and what the f their purpose really is. One of the takeaways from the book is how hard but important it is to face your own demons, except in the book it's like your literal demons. Another takeaway is obviously how organized religion can be. Oh, and a third takeaway has got to be the power of a loving and supportive community. There is such a harsh line between the Puritan community that Agatha is living in that's all about fear and punishment and turning your neighbor in to please your God, and the friendship between Agatha and Samson, which is all about empowering each other and showing each other love and being there for each other and being loyal. And then there's also the community kind of that Agatha has with her ancestors. She has this like spiritual bond between her mother for 12 mothers back, and it's because all of her ancestors have been a little bit witchy. In the book they call them cunning women, which basically just means like witchy women. That's kind of all I can say about the premise of the book without going into spoiler territory, but I will say I tried my best to read this book slowly because it's written so deliciously. I wanted to take my time with it, but I was laid up in bed sick all week, so I couldn't stop myself, and I managed to draw it out to 3 days, which is like 100 pages a day. That feels fine considering I could have blown through the whole thing in one go. And by the end, I couldn't have stopped myself even if I tried. The ending was absolutely batshit. If I had been like teetering on maybe a 4.5 before the end of it, I mean, the end blasted through that shit. The last few chapters absolutely launched this beyond a shadow of a doubt into 5-star territory. If you're wondering about trigger warnings, there are definitely a lot. Blood and gore, obviously. Religious trauma, obviously. A singular instance of harming an animal. There's typical white people colonizer bullshit. Especially when they're talking about Native Americans, they use the word savages a lot. Oh, and bugs. Lots of bugs, lots and lots and lots of bug talk. If you're scared of bugs, I would be warned. However, no metaphobia warning for once, which was nice for me. This was exactly the type of book that I needed this week after Floptina 1 and Floptina 2. It was witchy and spooky. I still was a little wary that it wasn't going to feel like horror, because the first half of it was so much like almost cozy, historical, magical realism, folklore kind of stuff. But then the ending hit and I changed my mind. The ending pushes it into horror. If you don't like good for her books, if you don't like books where a woman finds her bloody revenge, if you hate women and you want them to be silent and subservient, then maybe this is not the book for you. Agatha is a changed woman by the end of the book, and I think also I'm a changed woman by the end of this video. I never want to choose my own book again. I want to use that raffle drum downstairs forever. And now I'll catch up to you when I've washed this out. I just got out of the shower. Stayed in really well. Hi guys, I'm gonna make this as fast as possible because I need to upload this outro. Hey egg, I need to upload this outro. I need to upload this outro and get it up onto YouTube in time for this to be posted 9 hours from now. So if you're watching this on Halloween, please know I dyed my hair last night. This is how it turned out. This is the pink. This is the pink. I'm very happy about it. It's gonna chill out the next time I wash my hair. It's always really bright when I first do it, and then after that it calms down. I love it. I'm very happy always with pink hair, but I need to sign off so I can finish editing this and get it to you fine people tomorrow morning. So thank you for coming with me on my new adventure with my new best friend, who I never want to read a book without ever again. If you need a reminder, in this video, the slips I pulled out of here were Through the Midnight Door, which I gave a 2, Ghost Station, which I gave a 2.5, and Slewfoot, which I gave a 5. And it was worth it reading the other 2 duds to read this one. So that's all. I gotta go. I gotta go. If you can hear me, you can read the subtitles. Thank you so much for being here. Please let me know if you want me to keep doing more of these videos. I really hope you say yes, because I don't want to make any decisions for myself for the rest of my life, actually. I taped the genres to the bottom so we could play around with different genres with this also. Anyway, thank you for being here. I love you. Have a great Halloween. Have a great weekend. Are you ready for November? Because I'm not. Hi, Murph. And that's it. Okay. Love you. Bye.